On a radio show, talk show. Super agent Drew Rosenhaus, who we all know because he's Tyreek's agent, in addition to like basically everybody else in history from T.O. all the way down. Drew Rosenhaus decided to give a quote on the status of Tyreek Hill on the team. So you guys remember Tyreek after the game was a little distraught, maybe in his feelings a little bit. And he talked about, how I don't know, I gotta open these doors, and I'm used to making the playoffs, and he was giving indication that maybe he's not fully invested in the team. So Drew Rosenhaus came out and decided to do some cleanup. And the quote is, Tyreek is very passionate. What you see with Tyreek is very genuine. He wants to win. It's not good enough for him to make the playoffs. He's very passionate. Again, I think at the end of the day, he's committed to this Dolphins football team. He had an exciting. He had an excellent meeting with Chris Greer and Coach McDaniel. So I don't know if that means Tyreek wants to get traded, doesn't want to get traded. What it sounds like is if he does want to get traded, we shouldn't be saying it today. This doesn't make any sense to say it today. It's just going to devalue your trade value, and you're probably going to get moved to a team you don't want to get moved to. So this is one of two things. Either Tyreek was just emotional. He got a phone call from the big boss and said, "Hey, I was emotional. It's been a rough year. I just let it slide. I just let it slide out." Or he still wants to get traded, but Drew Rosenhaus, being an agent, knows trading a distressed asset is a worse trade bargain because now instead of getting first, second round compensation, you're talking maybe third, fourth round. I mean, Randy Moss got traded for like a fourth round pick and then had 23 touchdowns the next year. So it, that's what happens because Randy Moss didn't want to be where he was. And, well, who's going to take on this head case? Tyreek has given most teams in the league every indication it's going to be kind of a headache for me to be around. I'm an amazingly talented player, but it even looks like now, and maybe this is part of the injury, so we need to see next year, if he's not ultra cheetah fast guy that's so much faster and better than everyone else that you kind of put up with the nonsense, and he's just fast receiver that's going to start getting injured with tons of off the field stuff. Oof. I don't know what kind of trade piece that is. That's maybe a 1 year rental, 2 years max before this story doesn't end well. It doesn't end with if Tyreek played to his 37 years old and retire happy. That's not how that's not how this story ends. What you want to do is grab up as much of the good and try to get out before the bad. And I think Miami needs to figure out next year, especially if you're trying to rebuild the culture, is this kind of behavior part of the culture you want to have going forward? And I think a lot of it's going to be based on what can we get back. Because if someone's offering a fourth or fifth round pick, then you probably just put up with a headache.